good, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel, A Hooper's Touch. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. Turn on that bell notification so you are notified every time I drop a new video. And as you can tell by the title of this video, I am going to have a quick Q&A with you all about my experience so far going through my cancer diagnosis and treatment. In our last video, I shared my story with you all. I will have it linked below if you have not yet watched it. But just a quick overview. On July 29th of this year, I got diagnosed with lymphoma. So I have a fairly large mass in my chest. And I started treatment for it August 2nd. So a few days after getting diagnosed, I started chemo treatment. And I am currently halfway through. So I just finished up my third cycle, and I just wanted to come here and answer a few questions that you all may have. So if you see me looking down, I have my handy dandy notebook, and just so I can stay in order and be able to answer the questions that you all asked. All right, so the first question you all had for me was, what was my initial reaction when I was told my diagnosis? And so, of course, like anyone, I was shocked. But I wasn't as shocked as I expected myself to be. And I think that's partially because I already was at peace with whatever that outcome was. So whatever it ended up being, if it was benign or if it was cancerous, I was already at peace of whichever path my life ended up taking. I'm very much so a solution focused person. So after hearing that response, of course, you're shocked because it's like, I was just planning a birthday trip. Now I'm in the hospital. Now I have cancer. So it all happened so fast. But I believe I was more so in a solution focused lens where I'm like, okay, so this is what I have going on. So what is the next step? All right, so it's cancer, but how can we get to remission? So what are those steps? So I didn't really dwell on the fact of what it was. I was more focused on what I needed to do to get back to health. The next question is, what type of treatment am I getting? How many cycles do I have left? And then some side effects that I have experienced. So I'm going to put that all in one answer because it's all related. I am going through chemotherapy. I have 3 cycles left. I am halfway through my treatment. And side effects, I've lost my hair. So all my hair is gone. I am still losing eyebrows. So I have to get creative and try to draw some eyebrows on today. But I am losing eyebrows. I think my eyelashes are probably thinning, but they're still there. If y'all have any tips on how to put on some falsies, let me know, because I definitely want to learn how to do that. Other side effects have been fatigue. I experienced really bad migraines to the point where it's like I have blackout curtains. I still have the blanket over my head. I can't have the TV on. I can't even have the fan on. My grandma has been here helping me, and when she talks on the phone, she can't talk on the phone while in the room with me. To the point when I walk out of my room to use the bathroom, I have to have sunglasses on, and no medicine helps. Other side effects, I would say, I've started experiencing like the discoloration of like your nails. It's a little bit darker in person. Another side effect that I saw was like discoloration in my tongue. So I saw dark spots on my tongue. I was like, okay, y'all, turning into a Dalmatian here. What's going on? But also like really bad, like I guess nausea. But it's more like a sick to the stomach, because when I equate nausea, when I think of nausea, I think of like pregnancy nausea. So I think of like when I was pregnant with my son. So this type of nausea, or like feeling sick to my stomach, feels different. I've also realized that it's so hard to explain how you're feeling. Like your body feels so weird that you don't know how to express what is going on in your body. I didn't experience any weight loss, but I experienced a lot of weight gain. So with the steroids, I'm on really high doses of steroids. And I, in the beginning, was hungry, literally eating all day. And I gained probably 10 pounds since my diagnosis. So, what else? Like sweats, like feeling hot, cold sweats. So like you're sweating, but like my head and stuff like feels like cold to the touch. And body aches, really bad body aches. Like I mentioned in the first video, the week after my first treatment was by far the worst week of my life, where I experienced everything that I'm telling you about and some, all in that one week, sometimes all of those within one day. But thankfully here lately, it's been definitely easing up. I haven't had any migraines. I have been like feeling sick to my stomach, or feeling like gas is building up in my stomach. But other than that, the side effects have been kind of at a minimum, which is what caused it. The mutation of my lymph nodes. But I don't know the exact, this is what caused it. But I just want everyone to be aware that things that they do in their everyday has an effect on them mentally, emotionally, and physically. So you have to realize that stress and long-term stress, what that does to your body. Stress causes cancer. Stress causes stomach issues, lack of sleep, lack of concentration. You have to know that the lack of, forgiveness, you holding on to that is doing more damage to you than the other person. The lack of, like self-control. So even like holding on to anger. And we can go like what you're putting in your body. The vitamins that, your body is lacking. The toxins that you're constantly putting on your body. Like me putting on lip gloss. I don't know exactly what reaction. It's what I feel is harmless, but you don't know exactly what you're putting in your body. When you put on lotion, you don't know what exactly your body is absorbing and how that is having an effect on your body. So there's a lot of different factors when you're thinking about like the cause of illnesses that we don't really think about. And I think throughout this experience, it's caused me to be a little bit more aware of like, the company that I keep, or the foods that I eat, the exposure to maybe even TV, the screen time. So it kind of opens your mind to think like, how can I be the healthiest me in all aspects? And then going into the next question is one thing you didn't know about treatment. I have helped a lot of people that have cancer. Like I have helped different family take care of different family members, friends of the family, and all of that. But actually going through it yourself is different. And I want to put out this disclaimer that everybody's cancer, everybody's body, everybody experience, it's different. My experience is not going to be your experience because you're not me and I'm not you. But I do want to say that one thing about treatment, one thing about treatment that was different is that it's so different from what you see on TV. Like if you watch Greg's Anatomy or whatever Lifetime movie or whatever movie where the person has cancer, it's not all that you see on TV. So what I had to realize is that you literally have to listen to your body. Like going through this, I literally have to listen to my body because there's times that like you just want to push through and it's not what's best for you. There was one time I take hot showers, like all hot, no cold, and the steam in the shower, I dang near passed out. Like I didn't realize how your body can go from full energy to none just like this. Like I can wake up full energy and by the time I'm done getting my son together for the day, I'm taking a 2-hour nap. Or by the time I get out the shower, I'm laying down in bed for an hour before I even get dressed. So just realizing that some of the side effects that you see, you can experience it at the same time or one after the other. And another question was, how has support changed? And I can honestly say that I have a really supportive family and people around me. So I don't think support has changed. I believe that it's as strong as it's always been. Of course, like I get to check in with people a lot more often, but I wouldn't say the support has changed at all, or I've lost any friendships or any of that matter, which is great. Another one is, how do you remain positive during this time? So during this time, like I told you all in the last video, that I was at peace from the very beginning. So the very beginning, like I just knew that God will always take care of me. So when I have the moments where, oh, this morning is a little bit harder than yesterday or last week, then that's when you lean into your supports. So lean into, the people that you can confide in, the people that want to see you doing well, the people that want to see you encouraged. Sometimes you just got to dig deep and be that person if you can't quite find that person. So me remaining positive, I've always been pretty optimistic. So I've always been a pretty positive person for the most part. So that wasn't too hard to maintain. And then with the support that I have around me, it wasn't bad. But I did have moments where, like, it's mentally taxing. Like having your body experience things that you feel that's out of your control is very taxing on you mentally. And you just, like, one of my favorite scriptures and my life scriptures is like Ecclesiastes 3. Like, there's a time and a place for everything under the sun. And then Ecclesiastes 3:11, where, you know, God makes everything beautiful in its time. And I think about that all the time. And I'm like, I'm just, you know, that caterpillar going through that change. And at the end of it, it's going to be beautiful. So when I think that I can't really, you know, go no further, I think about that. Like, this is just a part of the process. Like, God is definitely building character. And I am so happy, you know, that he chose me to go through this experience, because I'm able to see things a lot differently than I was able to. And I'm able to experience that peace and his grace on a different level than I was able to before. So my story is just going to be that much more better once I'm done with this journey. And also, I have a 4-year-old son that loves me dearly, and I love him. So as any other parent would do, I'm going to do whatever it takes to stay here with my baby. So I just have to realize that a bad week or a bad day doesn't mean it's a bad life. And when there comes bad, there comes good. So when there's rain, God's always going to show you that rainbow. So my rainbow is every morning when I look at my son. And it's going to be even more, you know, beautiful once I get to the end of this journey. So that's how I stay positive. And speaking of my son, the next question I have is, how is your son coping with you being sick? My son is so smart. He's definitely understanding. He knows, like, oh, mommy's sick, like mommy doesn't feel good. I'm very open with him. So once he sees my medicine, when he saw my pump, I was able to, like, I showed him my port. I showed him the pump. I opened it up, showed him, it was like, this is the medicine. The medicine goes from the pump up to mommy, so mommy can feel better. And then I let him know, like, yeah, we can play, or, you know what, let's read a book instead of playing with the toys, or let's do ABC Mouse and we can go over that instead of playing. So he's definitely understanding that mommy's sick and she's going through what she's going through right now, but it hasn't really, like, taken a negative toll on him, because I'm able to still spend that time with him. I'm able to still read those books, do those puzzles. There's days that I do feel really good and we can, you know, go play in the backyard or go to the park. But he knows that, you know, when mommy's not feeling good, she's not feeling good. And he's so cute, because there was one day that he came in with his hammer and he knocked me on my kneecap. And I was like, what are you doing? He said, I'm fixing mommy. And I'm like, well, go ahead, son. I'm not going to stop you. So it's been, like, a great experience, because I only cried twice in this whole experience. And one time that I cried was because I wasn't sad for myself, but I was concerned to how my son was going to react seeing me go through this journey. And when I tell you, like, I don't know why I was so, like, concerned, because, like, he's doing great. So yeah, my son, being sick with a son, of course, is, like, it's sad because you want to do more with him, but then you have to tell yourself, like, this is a moment in time. Let's do what we can. So that's exactly what I did, what I could in that moment. Sometimes we're playing dodgeballs with his planets. And then the next moment we're laying down watching Up. It's fine. You know, it's all about the quality of the time that you spend, and not exactly, you know, like, what you're doing. But yes. And then my last question that I got was, what advice would I give to someone that is going through cancer or any other life-changing, like, medical condition? I just want to say, it's good to reach out to people that are going through what you're, that have the same diagnosis as you, right? But I just want to encourage you that when you're listening to their story, don't take on what is theirs. So if somebody told you like, oh, I was really sick for the first 3 weeks, and then I had migraines and I wasn't able to, and I had to, walk with a cane. I couldn't sleep. You can hear that and be like, okay, but don't take that on as if that is going to be your experience, because your experience may very well be different than theirs. And then also, your mental health is so important during this time. So whatever you can do as far as self-care, do it. There was days that I was literally laying in bed. I couldn't sit up like I'm sitting up now. Like, I was so nauseous and I had so much pressure on my head that I was literally laying down, eating food, laying down. Everything I was doing was laying down. I couldn't be propped up at all. But even in those moments, it's like, where's your self-care? Watch a good movie, or listen to a good podcast, or, call and talk to, that one friend that makes you laugh. Just the things that you do for self-care, just try to keep that, because those are going to be the moments that kind of propel you forward. And then stay surrounded by people that want your best interests at heart. I found in this experience that there was a lot of people that felt like they were entitled to my time and would get upset if I did not respond or call back or repost, something. You'll be surprised, but it's kind of like, you got to protect your peace and rebuild that strength so you can get healthy. So if you can't answer a phone call, then you can't. If you can't respond to a text in that moment, then you can't. It's okay to say no. It's okay to create those boundaries, because in this moment, you got to make sure you're getting healthy physically and you're staying healthy mentally. I hope I didn't talk your ears off too much, but I just wanted to leave you all with that. And before I go, I want to shout out my friend Paul and his positive message clothing. This is one brand that I probably love to wear more than my own. And it's definitely a brand that you can get behind. It's a brand that anyone can relate to. And I'm definitely going to link his website below. So until next time, over and out.